Okay, Corky, Varus. We're going to see an Ashe ban. Nope. All right, Ashe is up, but priority for Illusion for Viper again. They want to play through the bot side. No real surprise. Ashe. Ashe. Oh, man. We're just going to play Aphelios, Lulu. Okay. We're just going to play Lulu. Okay, pick Lulu. You pick Milio. Fine.
I mean, it's still very strong, obviously, as well. Right?
Thank you, Les1994. Is there beach paradise in Korea? Yeah, it's called Jeju. It's an island off the southern coast of Korea.
Mid teams have specific champions they're very good at, and they have a.
So the Lucian Milio is very good at level 1s though, because you can green gun with Milio range, and then you can get really big advantages at level 1. So we'll have to take a look at GenG's level 1 to see if they have anything special planned.
GenG, I think, is
taking out Peanuts champions, Vi and J4. J4 obviously a counter to Aphelios and possibly Orianna here if he picks Orianna mid. Also right now we should be aware that Chovy likes to play Yone into Azir. This is a Chovy thing, so that's definitely on the table as well. Normally, if teams pick Azir versus GenG, they ban Trist and Yone.
Just allows Chovy to play Orianna here.
Talia really strong, though, because of Lucian, right? Lucian wants to be at the front. Lucian can't dash. But you still have, and with the Vi taken out, there's another single, and nobody's taking Nautilus. So Lucian is pretty free to work the front line right now. See if they get some lockdown for frontlining Lucian, or they're just going to eat a bunch of Cullings to the face.
Right now, whether you'll take the Aatrox here with Cassante banned. Oh, looking for giving Keen counter pick instead, though, and just grabbing Hui for some additional long.
Okay, so they are going to take the Hui matchup, another counter. This is Chovy's first Hui game.
You have sustained damage. You have,
I believe. I should say I'm pretty sure it is.
Also long range and a bunch of utility.
I love this. I like the idea of just sitting back, right? Like a lot of what these Milio compositions run into is having to play neutral and not having engage.
First Hui game.
They have engage with the Rel anyway, but you also don't necessarily need to because you can just stand back and fire things from a billion miles away as the Hui. So really like it here from Chovy.
I am not a big fan of the Sejuani here, especially with whatever pick you get here. It has
Dude, Sejuani's pretty janky. But they want a form of primary engage, I believe. You know, you have the secondary engage options of Azir, Shuffle, and Aatrox flank, but you need that primary engage. Also, secondary engage of Nami ult. So it feels good with the composition, but doesn't feel good in the laning phase.
Jax not pulling out any Camille's here. And they'll just play
Jax.
All
right.
Jax for Keen. You have to play this blind, but there is so much follow-up to a Magnet Storm, it's unreal. I mean, Canyon could.
They still lack primary engage, guys. I don't really count Rel as primary engage because oftentimes she needs either to be played into to provide primary engages, and you're walking into her while her team is taking a dragon or a baron or something like that. But very good for kiting, very good as a follow-up engage, but they don't have a lot of primary engage on this composition, kind of like a Jax flank. So this comp from GenG could have problems if they don't have objective prio. I actually like Hanwha's draft. It feels like there's a lot of ways to kind of play this draft that Hanwha has, and they have conditional engage, which is nice, meaning that they don't have to commit to a fight. They can kind of throw out a Nami wave or a Sejuani ult and see what they get, whereas GenG is like all in. You know, Jax and Rel are just all in. Good at kiting, though, and you know, the other thing you have to think about is the threat onto Hui. Now, there is an Aatrox flank threat onto Hui, so at least they've got something.
I love the Jax.
Caitlyn is underpicked since last year. Yeah, we see it. We are seeing it more in the LPL.
A 4-1 opportunity with a composition that is lacking a bit of engage that does sort of want to.
We've seen some like Caitlyn Milio combos, Caitlyn Lux combos. T1's played Caitlyn Lux in LCK. I think it's still good. It is more of a conditional pick, though, and it's like it's very binary because it just pushes. So everybody in the game knows what you're going to do, which means that if they can stop it, which is difficult but doable, then you kind of just lose.
In a draft where he's just kind of in isolation, like, he's a side lane threat, but that hasn't really been what this season has been about. Or, okay, like, he's our engage. Not really realistic for that to happen a lot of the time, but he has great follow-up for all the setup that GenG has with this Rel, too. And obviously what Milio can provide for him is a speed boost.
Isn't Rel's engage pretty good if she has flash? Yeah, but you're gated around flash, right?
So it's
better for sure. It's not like a Sejult, though, right?
Yeah, not to mention Magnus
Or an Ash Arrow. You know, there are better forms of engage. Maokai ult, right? There are better forms of engage.
Like a massive amount of damage, and you add the
and Rel engage is not conditional. You have to go all in.
That you do have at your disposal.
The Sejuani here, you know, Peanut is 4-0 on it so far this season. I'm not super sold on what it does in terms of, you know, permafrost synergy or early game stuff, and we haven't seen very many good Sejuani ults really from any of our teams this season. It's been kind of oddly a weird one for Sej right now, but very tanky and very difficult to cut through for GenG's draft. And I do think if Peanut gets ahead and Hanwha Life have a pretty stable / strong mid-game, then Peanut has a lot of agency to block a lot of that Hui damage and to try to get on top of this Aphelios potentially, or help break through Keen, for example, if he's trying to frontline some of these fights. Cannon's here.
Yeah, and Flash already from Zeka. They are even going to get a bit of added damage.
The best team comps always have at least one form of conditional engage. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan. Conditional engage is a huge aspect of professional League of Legends. Huge.
What camps he can, but it's just vertical jungling.
Yeah. And they just didn't have any way to track where Canyon was exactly at that moment. Zeka didn't have a ward, so just straight up has to flash there, unfortunately. And Viper, again, he's putting pressure on here. But we've seen the limits of what Lucian Nami, what Lucian Milio could do into these scaling lanes without a dive follow-up. And it's Sejuani here, who is going to steal jungle, but at level 3 isn't going to be able to make an impact.
They do have a dive follow-up. They have Aatrox. It's all right. I don't mind HLE's composition.
Might actually be able to do something there. Sejuani is not going to be that champion. It's not a Poppy. It's not a Xin Zhao.
Doran just has to play the flanks well.
And I feel like teams are so good at playing into Lucian right now because we've seen it for like the last year and a half all the time. It's always been relevant. So it no longer feels like, aha, I can turn this into a sneaky dive, or I've got this really cool CS lead that's so overwhelming because you guys took bad trades.
Oh, Pay's in a bit of trouble here, as he's going to have to ghost to get himself out of this one. Doing a fair bit of damage. Does have his Gravitum now available. You can see Peanut standing on a ward. That is going to pressure Pay's and Lehens away.
That was a really good try there from Viper and Delight. They got a good trade, and Peanut's here, but the vision is there, and they just back away. It's still going to lead to pretty nice advantage for them.
It still makes my brain hurt a little bit, like saying that Peanut is here to gank Pays.
Yeah, it is weird.
This is, of course, the first matchup of the season. As Canyon looking for a dive, and Doran is just going to be chopped up. It's a bit like saying that Peanut is here to gank Pays.
Yeah, it is weird.
Good stall on the wave.
Matchup of the season as Canyon looking for a dive. And Doran is just
Q immediately.
It's a decent amount of CC, but there's a leap strike, and Keen's going to pick it up.
Very nice.
This is, of course, the first matchup of the season as Canyon looking for a dive. And Doran is just going to be chopped up. It's a decent amount of CC.
So Leaf Strike is still up afterwards, so Keen doesn't have to use Flash. Oh, hell yeah, we love to see it. Keenosaurs!
And this is the easy cross map you make when the Lucian crash happens, because you know, okay, if Peanut is not here, I have nothing to fear. If he's here, then we can make something happen on the other side with this Jax, with the Rel, and that's exactly what they did. The juggle on the turret aggro, as you said, was magnificent. Now it's Rel on Grub, so she can clear this super quick with her shield break interaction, which we've seen so many times already this season. Rel the best at rushing these down and then turning it into a potential double objective take. When you get that kill top side, feels really nice. So yep, there's the shield interaction right there. You can take 2 and walk away. And you know, the advantages you try to
You do want 5 to 6 here, though. That's the thing.
So insignificant compared to what you
because Jack split push becomes really threatening, and they already have good siege with the Hui.
Peel tools when dove like that, it just feels really frustrating.
So, yeah, having 5, 6 stacks of Void Grubs feels pretty good if you're GenG.
The crushing maul was avoided, but as I say that, let's have a look at this replay as Canyon just starts tanking it up real nicely.
Yeah, he holds the wave as well. He's just doing everything he can here and then waits for taking aggro until the counter-strike is going to be proc there. Perfectly played between the two of them. And now Doran is going to get zoned out of experience, has no teleport. This is the beginning of what is going to be a very tough game for Doran.
Yeah, and okay, we've got Zeka getting a flash out of Chovy here. That's nicely done, but the ulti is flying through. We'll do a little bit here, but also
wave
clears
clear
out the wave. Exactly, that's what Chovy was really looking for. Zeka getting a flash out of Chovy here. That's nicely done, but the ulti is flying through.
The beginning of what is going to be a very tough game for Doran.
Yeah, and okay, we've got Zeka getting a flash out of Chovy here. That's nicely done, but the ulti is flying through. We'll do a little bit here, but also
wave
clears
clear
out the wave. Exactly, that's what
Yeah,
Chovy
prevents
was
the
really
dive.
looking for. For anyone who knows him, as I really don't want to feed into that meme. I really don't want to. As Canyon here towards the bottom
Look,
side.
just because he's not only about the CS now doesn't mean he still doesn't love the CS.
No, it's exactly right. But I know that there are many people that just want to talk about it. As Zeka once again flying forward, trying to avoid these angry jaws. But now Canyon, speaking of being angry, he's going to look for a little bit of a snare on Delight. A little bit disjointed, but still GenG.
Oh, the root is huge.
As the Gravitum snares up all of them. And now Canyon's looking for another crash down. Doesn't quite get it, but does get the double stun. As now they're making their way out. This is a real tug of war here in this battle. Does look like GenG will be able to
The
get
battle of the pink wards and the tri-brush.
Yeah, Pays having red-white here is really the number one part about this, because without that, I think they probably will end up eventually losing out on that fight, despite you know, the situation they had him with the engage from Canyon. But even with the longsword,
Keen 700 gold up on a Jax. He's literally the entire lead of GenG.
Gold lead now here for Keen. He's 11 CS up, has that additional kill, first blood, mind you, obviously a huge part of this. And Doran just can't really farm freely. So frustrating.
Oh man. Yeah, you see that that Infernal Chain miss, and you're like, well, I guess I have to leave.
That's -1 cannon.
Yeah, and look, this CS gap is only going to increase as well, as minions are lost, as Keen just continues to zone Doran away over and over again. This is, yeah, sometimes this happens, you know, sometimes if your top lane really does just get obliterated, the wave state doesn't work. Remember, he died and then lost a big wave as well. Although he did have teleport, could come
Oh man,
back.
he's just barely not going to get this
Really
plate because the minions
to
of the
mitigate,
blue wave
damage
came in at
that is
exactly
being
the right
done,
time
and
to get the
Jax is a
casters
great
to
champion and
aggro on them
really
instead of the tower.
pushing it further.
But and the cool thing about Jax in this type of scenario where you're trying to zone out is even if Peanut comes up here, which is disastrous for what you're trying to do bottom side.
Travis Gafford's
you're
true to
Jax,
55
so
people
you
on
have
Magic the
Counter-Strike,
Gathering.
you have
Appears to be
Flame
eating
Strike to get
sushi.
out of any
Good to see him
situation,
diversifying his
and
content
he just
finally.
doesn't
Yeah,
care.
good for
Like,
Travis.
Peanut will very rarely ever be able to punish a Jax unless Jax's flashes down.
It was like my
and he
55
goes
person
deep.
Baldur's Gate
Otherwise,
streams,
you don't
guys.
get anything, and Chovy's gonna stop his back.
Yeah, he is. Walks up, and that is... you might look at that and say, oh, but that's not a kill. And it might also be
It's
a
worse
kill.
than a kill, basically,
Yeah.
but now it is also going to be a kill.
And now it's almost guaranteed. Peanut's going to turn up, but it is a 2 versus 3. Thankfully, the turret is available. Chovy now looking for the opportunity as Doran's just going to be taken down, and Peanut just has to watch. Keen does see Peanut's going to turn up, but it is a 2 versus 3. Thankfully,
So he actually does stun the Rel, but obviously with Chovy being here also, not much you can do. Keen actually does have to flash here, which is a bit unlucky.
Keen does have to flash.
Interesting. When did he use his leap strike?
Thankfully, the turret is available. Chovy now looking for the opportunity as Doran's just going to be taken down, and Peanut just has to. Now it's almost guaranteed. Peanut's going to turn up, but it is a 2 versus 3. Thankfully, the turret.
I think he had leap strike up. Oh no, he used it right there, I think. He used it right there. It was like a short range leap strike. Yeah, he used it to dodge the chains, actually. I think he used it to dodge the chain hit. Because I was wondering why, if he had ward up, he didn't leap strike out, but I think he used it to dodge the chain hit. That was actually really well played. That was actually really well played by Keen. This is why we love Keen here, guys.
As that one is crashing into the turret on the side of Hanwha Esports, but this Aatrox is basically a paperweight.
Yeah.
Towards just going to be taken.
Peanut played it horribly.
Yeah, he is. Walks up, and that is. You might look.
I mean, ulting the Rel seemed all right.
It's worse than a kill, basically, but now it is also going to be a kill.
And now it's almost guaranteed. Peanut's going to turn up, but it is a 2 versus 3. Thankfully, the turret is.
I mean, he thinks that he ults one in range, right? But he's just going after Canyon instead. Where's his Q? When did he use his
You might
Q?
look at that and say, oh, but that's not a kill. And it might also be
It's
a
worse
kill.
than a kill, basically,
Yeah.
but now it is also going to be a kill.
And now it's almost guaranteed.
Is this-
Peanut's going to turn
I don't
up,
think
but
his
it
Q's
is
on
a
cooldown. I
2
didn't see him
versus 3.
use it in
Thankfully,
advance. I was looking at the
turret is
minimap.
available. Trophy now looking for the opportunity as Doran's just going to be taken down, and Peanut
Yeah, I don't know
just
why
has
he's
to
not going on
watch.
Keen. What the
does
fuck,
have
man?
to flash in the end.
He Q's Rel
2
W.
versus 3. Thankfully, the turret is available. Trophy now looking for the opportunity as Doran's just going to be taken down, and Peanut.
He does?
Be a kill.
And now
I blind?
it's almost guaranteed. Peanut's going to turn up, but it is a 2 versus 3. Thankfully, the turret is available. Trophy now looking for the opportunity as Doran's just going to be taken down, and Peanut just has to watch. Keen does have to flash in the end. Just
He
don't
turret
think
blocks,
it's going to
okay.
be enough to save him as Doran might be able to walk towards mid lane and try and get something, as that one is crashing into the turret on the side of Hanwha Esports. But this Aatrox is basically a paperweight
Yeah,
in this one.
This is...
Yeah, when Rel
this is
gets
not gonna
knocked
be
up,
relevant.
yep.
That's one less threat that you have to deal
Well,
with.
the thing is that, guys, I'm not sure how badly he, I think he should have switched focus. But basically, you know, when you see the Canyon engage, if you don't, Rel is going to try and take aggro here. Like, Rel wants to take aggro, so if you don't ult Rel, then Keen doesn't get aggro, right? Rel gets aggro. So if you ult Jax, then Canyon gets aggro. So I'm not sure there's a best way to play this, honestly, because, like,
don't think it's going to be enough.
whoever Peanut ults is not going to take tower aggro. So that's the problem. Is that Jax doesn't get turret aggro there if Peanut doesn't R Rel. So it's just like he was going to die. Somebody was going to die there no matter what with Chovy up there as well. That's the reality of it.
Going into the mid game is the Felios that is just dealing with the Lucian lane very well. You know, he's not even like he's half a wave behind.
Could he not hold ult? No, because then basically Rel takes aggro in that case.
Just gonna absorb a Lucian ultimate here. He just
right.
doesn't care about anything.
And I think Rel will just escape by pathing above the turret in that instance, even without flash. I also think somebody would just block the ult. So.
Not gonna find Viper, but as soon as Canyon shows his face, they have to back away. They can't put on the pressure that this Lucian Nami does want to be doing.
Doran doesn't have teleport, so he's kind of awkwardly deciding, like, are we contesting?
I do think the mistake was that he didn't turn on to Jax. I think ulting Rel is fine. I think after that you turn on to Jax once he picks up the aggro, and then maybe you can kill Jax.
GenG with the Aphelios lane have control. They have control on the top side.
Monty, you should listen to Hype Boy by New Jeans. No, I don't give a shit about K-pop.
Starts the dragon, and
fuck K-pop, man.
I mean, if you just took a screenshot of the fact
I have one life to live, and I'm not going to spend it listening to K-pop music.
That's all you need to know. They will, of course, back off of the grubs to make sure they can secure this dragon here. They're buying a lot of time. But Hanwha Life really grasping at straws here, and Chovy's playing so respectfully while his flash is down, while his ult is down here against Zeka.
And I actually really love this from GenG, because as soon as Peanut shows himself in the bottom lane, they can just say, Keen,
just go.
Just make sure that he doesn't get any farm. And even if they don't take the Drake, even if they do back away into a more neutral state on the bottom side, they still win.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to go a little bit too far and give them a chance to utilize their composition to try and get themselves back in via a team fight.
You just don't care about how long it takes for this Drake to be secured either. You're like, all right, cool. You guys want to come over and contest? We'll just get
Look, if I have to spend my life, you know, watching teenage Koreans, they better be playing fucking video games. You know what I mean?
They just take the leash off of Keen and let him push in. He grabbed another plate throughout all of this.
I spend too much time watching teenage Koreans as it is, guys. I'm not going to do it in music, too.
At the ready. It's like Canyon getting...
He's like, Umbrell, what's up?
Yeah, he's going to walk over and take himself some shellfish.
I have teenage Korean standards, okay? They better be clicking a mouse.
Just like, well, I know he takes this. He's Rel. And they just watch it happen. Peanut knows, too. He's like, is there any way he messes this up? And he's like, I guess not. Also, we can't get Dragon, by the way. Also, Viper's not bought. He does have now his first item completed. And there's no mandate yet for Delight, unfortunately.
The long con, Wolf. This is the long con. Peanut is still here.
One day you'll have a Korean teenager of your own. Great point. I'll have two of them, so it's enough for me.
Even longer, if they really want to make use of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, still has to be here, right? Doesn't want to give away this Drake for free. Just sort of wandering around on patrol. And Lance maybe caught out of position here just a little bit. Does have to flash. Ignited there by Viper as well.
Is my wife Korean? She's Korean American. She is ethnically Korean. She was born in Korea.
Maybe he can kill Pays as well, although there's the flash forward from Canyon. They're going to try and turn this one as best they can. Viper down to 50%. It's a decent tidal wave. The bubble's good as well as the double teleports are coming in. Magnet Storm, though, in response immediately, and everyone is flashing.
All right, so they got Chovy. Everybody just TPing into the bot side of this fight. Chovy picks the wrong ward to teleport on. Or he doesn't even TP. JK, guys. He just walked down there. I was looking at Keen's TP. He just gets caught in the river because the rest of his team abandons him. He does get kind of trolled by Canyon here. Because, like, Canyon, once he misses his Q onto Viper, like, what the heck, man? You know that the Azir is following him down. So this is a big overcommitment by GenG. They already forced Viper's flash. Right, they already forced Viper's flash by Canyon Q flashing. And at this point in time, like, you need to just hold on to the river position. Like, try and turn on to Peanut. Or turn back onto Zeka. You can't overcommit here because your Hui is very low mobility. And you also have a low mobility AD carry. They also just completely disrespect the fact that Tidal Wave is still up. This is actually very badly played by GenG.
Response immediately, and everyone is flashing away. Keen decides to go 1v3, not sure about that one, but somehow it's a kill onto Chovy towards the north of the fight. Zeka coming in, he will get stunned up, but he's looking for that kill onto Lehends, and he will get it. His Azir is 3-0 for a reason, and there's another bubble. Canyon, can he be the next one? There it is, double kill for Zeka, and Hanwha Esports well and truly on the board.
Oh!
And able to walk it off.
Now they can't do Dragon here. I think they're
sad times.
Can he be the next
The
one?
last
There
shot of the green gun.
And Hanwha
Oh,
Esports well
man.
and truly on the board, and Peanut able to walk it off.
Now they can't do Dragon.
If only he had had green-white instead of green-blue. Rip.
To get back to mid, so they can't actually secure the objective. But that was definitely GenG pushing a little bit deep. You know, when Lehends goes down to like 25% health, you know, maybe that's the time to back off.
Remember what we were praising them for before?
Yeah.
About, like, we don't have to go for a team. Then they go for the team.
Just like a very weird fight. I mean, you already won by getting Viper to flash.
Chovy had no mana for the fight, so
Just super bad. Just super bad. I mean, he was abandoned too. He has no mana. He's completely abandoned. They know, like, look, Zeka is fucking walking on Scuttle Crab. They see him. Like, just hold the W, GenG. Come on, the call should be to go on to Peanut. And look, Drake is up. Drake is up. Just fucking walk to Drake. Jesus Christ. What are you doing? They still have Tidal Wave. What the fuck, man?
Also, Tidal Wave is up, so it's very
So bad. So bad from GenG. And Lehends like, I'm helping.
Low on health. And then they do everything they can to protect Keen. Meanwhile, GenG trying to secure this dragon, and Zeka is able to at least get Lehends. He wanted to get Keen and Lehends, but it'll take.
It's actually giga bad by GenG.
Do secure the dragon after all of this with Chovy's reset.
Like, why do we lose 3 people here?
For Zeka on this Azir means he's now online in.
I mean, good job by Hanwha, but it was a bit of a freebie.
And gives the good old thumbs up. He's always ready for the emote play. You love to see it. Now, that is going to bring Hanwha Esports within touching distance. You can see just after that fight, they did have a slight gold lead. Still a bit of a valley that GenG had created for themselves. And by no means are Hanwha Esports out of the woods, right? Like, the Jax is still going to be a problem in a side lane. They need to convince him to go 1v3 versus
HLE did the T1 mind control for real.
For things to really be elite.
For real.
Available here. They have Prio on this Herald, so they should be able to at least get this objective here. And
pretty terrible fight, though.
Cautious.
Pretty terrible fight. I mean, GenG gets the Drake eventually, right, guys? But, I mean, it's a first Drake at, like, fucking 14 minutes into the game. What a weird game this has been. We literally just, it's like an objective-free game. The first Drake at 14 minutes, and we only took 1 Void Grub camp. Right? 3 Void Grubs before Herald spawn. Like, this is one of the lowest objective games I've seen this year. 0 turrets, too.
1v3 versus Hanwha a few more times for things to really be alleviated. But that is a great start, and certainly showing that when Zeka does find himself in a team fight like this, he can certainly perform.
Yeah, he definitely did. And now he's got ult available here. They have Prio on this Herald, so they should be able to at least get this objective.
Oh my god. Bengi best jungle. You are such a troll.
Be very cautious.
Pleb this man. Pleb this man. That's not an acceptable opinion on this stream.
Well, Hens has ult available, but not want to get caught here. Not going to commit to anything. Though Delight did have his ultimate available, they could have tried to focus one of these two champions down with a ult into bubble. Viper tossing out his culling. Not going to commit, and it is just going to be the Herald that goes over. So small victories here. And mind you, Zeka almost got a kill onto Keen on
President Nathan, thank you for your 2-1 subscription. I appreciate that.
He is very big.
Oh, yeah, Viper taking a lot of damage as Pays. Pressing Q.
We have the technology now, guys. We have the technology to shame people.
Is also here.
And I feel like it says
who made that animation? A Tantalos, of course.
A little bit longer into the Aphelios, but we have seen more and more that the Aphelios does find some of these angles. And speaking of,
we've got lots of them now. You guys haven't even seen all of them yet, not by a long shot.
Find the bubble or the tidal wave, and that is going to cause this turret to fall down.
Bengi win world. Oh my god, you are the biggest fucking Korean troll, dude.
Pressure up your top side, but it's not going to be without cost as Peanut trying to slow the rotation.
He's zoned out just a little bit.
Chal Jae-ryung.
Still standing towards his top lane. See what they can actually get done.
Stanky Steve, thank you. All your subscriptions will go into making this stream more fun for you guys to watch like that. So your money going to increasing your entertainment, guys. I promise you.
They were the ones who got the Rift Herald, but then they lost mid-turret for it. So
he's been slightly troll. I know he's a troll.
Finally got a big objective, but it ends up being that they lose out more than the Herald itself would have provided necessarily. And Doran still just a paperweight so far.
Well, Keen is going to be able to leap his way out. Does have to invest a control ward, so that is a decent amount of money.
Chovy is going to push top.
You like BDS?
By so much time.
No.
He's also running the wrong direction, so he's almost definitely dead. But is this going? No, it's not. He is very much dead. Wasting time, doing the best he can, and he's dead. There we go. So 600 gold goes over to the Aatrox. Now officially.
NC3 Johnny Panic. Your Bezos bucks will be redeemed for stream animations and art. Congratulations.
So difficult to kill him. They spent 4 people to do it.
Well, let's see whether they can also get Pays, who Captain Jacks that one really nicely. Peanut delivering him an ultimate, and he's going to return the favor by missing his completely.
Kill Keen but lose turret. Yeah.
Life Esports not able to find the kill onto the Aphelios.
But they might be able to get this mid turret. I mean, Zeka, he's got that Nashers, he's got half of his Leandries, and that should be enough damage to take this out. So
it's a nice trade, though. I mean, this is a good game for Hanwha, but honestly, this is like a lot of GenG mistakes.
But at the same time, they will lose a lot because Pays.
At least it's at least it is a better game. I mean, they forced TP here too from Chovy.
4-man dive onto Keen, but at the same time, they will lose a lot because Pays.
Oh, that is not going to be the.
They actually forced double TP. Oh no. We see the TP down to bot side. Never mind. Keen TP's bot side to push for tier 1. Trying to get a punish here because they see 4 in mid lane, but they don't have time. Now Keen's really exposed, actually. Keen is really exposed. He's gotta bounce. What a worthless man. GenG just wasted 2 TPs. They just absolutely griefed 2 TPs.
By Zeka, who does come down here and deal with him, but still, I think
he literally could have walked to bot side Keen and gotten the same effect, and Chovy did not need to TP to the mid lane.
45 seconds, we're going to have that next streak, and so things have looked very good for GenG, although there were some overextensions.
Who's my favorite LCK team? Right now it is GenG and Kwangdong.
Really gets hit for the Lucian, right? He is up an item. He has his RFC. He is ready to fight this dragon out. This is
I like T1, yeah. I think T1's very good, but you asked my favorite. I think the best LCK team is T1 right now. I think my favorite teams are GenG and Kwangdong. As in, I enjoy the most pleasure from watching them. I derive the most pleasure from watching them play. I hear that Monty does not like KT. I'm a historic KT fan. I don't like this version of KT. I hate this version.
Pushing up and getting more because
KT was my favorite team last year.
What's happening right now is he's just wailing on Doran. Canyon just biding his time, really wanting to just get the straight up dive. Does have flash available as Chovy misses a few buttons, and Peanut, he doesn't. Emperor's Divide's going to throw him into the wall, and both dives are going to be successful. And now in the mid lane, it's an honest 2v2 as Lehens takes a full culling to the face, and he is going to back away.
Yeah, the question now becomes, are you more worried about a Fed Jax or a Fed Azir? As Azir picks up the 4th kill, Zeka also pushing onto that turret.
What's my favorite LCK team / roster ever? KT Rollster Bullets Season 3.
Has to answer this Jax because in a team fight I favor the Azir, but alone in the side lane I favor the Jax. So the Jax is getting work done, Atlas.
It's not even Jax versus Aatrox anymore. It's soon going to be Jax versus Nexus, and we've seen this battle throughout the ages. Jax tends to win.
And Hanwha Life, finally.
Do I know Joe Marsh? No, I've never met Joe Marsh.
The decisions that GenG are making are they're deliberately allowing.
I have no desire to meet Joe Marsh.
To happen as this push continues because Doran is dead. They know they could get so much out of this. Chovy, on the other hand, he's not going to be able to survive this. Tries to clear the wave, but it's really good play here from Peanut. Zeka follows up with.
I have one life to live, guys, and it's not going to be spending. It's not going to be spent having conversations with Joe Marsh.
If he lives there, it's even worse. But obviously, that wasn't going to happen with this Fed Azir coming through. Who's now on 2 items, 2.5 really. But the question becomes.
It's not going to be my life is not going to be spent watching K-pop or listening to K-pop and talking to Joe Marsh. That's not how I'm spending my life. I refuse.
They have to deal with the threat of this inhibitor top that's exposed. Could be taken out at any point now.
Yeah, two turrets in the top side now. GenG just actively trading up.
Cleaning it up surgically.
They are. But the biggest difference is this, and we illustrated the mid lane mismatch in game number 1.
1,300 gold advantage for Zeka, but he's Zeka, so he will definitely not do anything with his advantage. Zeka is the Kana of mid laners, where it doesn't matter how much of an advantage you get him on certain champions, he's not going to win you the game. He might win you on Sylas or Akali, but he's not going to win you the game on Azir. I will tell you that right now.
Because he is well set up to pop off in said fight. But if GenG just avoid fights and scale up the Aphelios and then keep taking turrets off the map, the objective is to kill the Nexus. So HLE needs to somehow force a fight, maybe forcing a Baron, grouping up over here, clearing some vision out, forcing GenG to come to them. That could be the way that they end up having that amazing Azir.
What's the best American chain restaurant in Korea? Ooh, good question.
They wait. Keen's not. He's going to keep pushing, so you have to
Burger King is like weirdly good in Korea, like much better than it is in America. Papa Murphy's used to be banger. I don't know if they offer this, if they offered this in America, but in Korea they used to have this thing called the box, where it would be like a cardboard cube, and it would have trays in it, and one tray would be chicken, like chicken wings, like boneless chicken tenders. One tray would be a pizza, and the bottom tray would be like a chocolate chip cookie, like pizza cut like a pizza, like a giant chocolate chip cookie. It was delicious and terrible for you. The box was fucking goated, man.
They did have that little bit of,
I don't know if that existed, in America or not, but it existed in Korea because I wasn't living in America at the time.
And he was just before. So holding on to vision around the Baron, making sure that Hanwha Life Esports need to put in all of their resources to continue checking, continue trying to get vision. Hanwha just the Jax do his thing.
They just couldn't quite.
Or it was Papa John's. Sorry, like Papa John's. I'm so dumb. Papa John's.
Had they done that a little bit faster, maybe GenG has to send Keen over, right? Maybe they could threaten a start, but GenG's
I'm trying to find it.
Like, all right, cool. Now
here, yeah, I found it.
We're near Baron,
dude, this shit was fire. Let me tell you.
Over here and push you away, and Zeka's zoned out, doesn't get to do anything there, and we just keep getting a shot of this.
Here, I'm going to show you guys real quick. This game is being interrupted by the Papa John's box in Korea. Okay, you ready? All in one box. Pizza. This was pasta. This is a pasta dish. Potato wedges, boneless chicken, and then a fucking chocolate chip cookie. Giant chocolate chip cookie. Look at how fucking great this is. And it came in this giant box. They don't have this anymore in Korea. I was so sad when I came back and this didn't exist anymore. But this is the single greatest fucking invention. I don't know why they don't do this everywhere. I think South Korea just out-America'd America. True. I mean, it's god-awful for you. How much was that? I mean, it's Korea, so it's going to be cheaper. It was like $30, maybe $30 or $40 equivalent. Anyway, Papa John's The Box in Korea. There you go. It was delightful.
Building some MR now, and you know, he's going to need it for Zeka, because Zeka is going Void Staff. Very likely to go Crypt Bloom as well. Yeah, it's a pretty good item choice. He goes for the Rooken, and then
where does Papa John's ranks in chain pizza shops? Pretty high. Papa John's is good.
Show the state of the game as well, that he goes for Rooken first when it's likely Doran that's going to be matching him, because he knows the real threat of Hanwha Esports right now is the bird. And oh, Peanut on a bit of a flank angle here, going to be spotted out by a few of his ex-teams. Look at all the teleport wards Keen has, the observers are showing. He can come in at a crazy angle if Hanwha Life actually try to do anything. Like he can teleport.
How are Koreans not huge if that was the thing? Eric Eden asks. Well, they don't eat that all the time like Americans. They actually eat pretty healthy most of the time, so you can indulge from time to time. They also walk everywhere because it's a city with public transportation.
There's the TP, but also they're going to have to contest with Canyon as well, who does have the smite. So they go for the turn. Tidal Wave. Bubble is good. On to Keen to deny that flank, and now the Sand Soldier's doing some work. Canyon takes a full culling, but he's pretty tanky, and who does have the smite. So they go for the turn. Tidal Wave.
Tidal Wave onto Keen is not great here. You actually do need that for disengage later on, probably.
But he's pretty tanky, and Peanut is just taking full damage here from Chovy, throwing abilities left, right.
I think not having Tidal Wave is a pretty big problem for HLE now.
I want to see him. You know, how much did Chovy do in that fight? Well, ask Doran, because he took most of it, as we can see.
How often do people eat fast food? Too much, man. Too much.
I mean, minions are getting.
I think the other thing, guys, is that it's literally easier in Korea. It is cheaper to eat healthier Korean food than it is to eat fast food. Fast food is literally more expensive than just going to your local place and getting like a you know, kimchi stew or something like that. So you don't eat fast food as much because it's like it's actually just more expensive than, you know, healthier options.
But he is just not going to last as long against a red-white Aphelios, so he has to hightail it out there. Zeka's never in position to put Sand Soldiers down and do damage there, or look for an Emperor's Divide, and GenG once again just went out on neutral with Keen. Yeah, he had to use teleport, Chovy as well, but it's a big win for them, and all the while this Aphelios getting bigger and bigger. LDR on the way. This time you gotta stick the landing. Yeah, well, it's another teleport to be used, this time on the side of Hanwha Esports. Doran was already here, and it is Aphelios getting bigger and bigger. LDR on the way. This time you gotta stick the landing. Yeah, well, it's another teleport to be used, this time on the side of Hanwha Esports. Doran was already
It's a good Baron attempt. This is a good Baron. This is a good Baron because Aphelios is on the recall, and they know that Keen is bot side with no TP. And they have a pretty fast Baron with the Azir. It's a good Baron by HLE. It's a good call. Oh, they mistime it, though? They mistime the wave bubble?
But he's still gonna make it in and take away the Baron.
Oh, why?
It's not going to happen as now Keen finally
Delights, why?
Oh, it was so incredibly close. You knew the idea, you knew the theory, but in the end, Rel is just Rel. Oh God, now they've set themselves up a Sun Disc. But GenG, they're just going to try and find what they can. Look at the long-range artillery of Pace, and also look at the dead Pace as he goes a little bit too far forward. It was very cute that he was able to go in there.
I love America, USA #1. Yeah, that's reasonable. America has prevented all of Korea from becoming North Korea, you know, for the last 70 years. Good guy, Americans.
He drops out
effective military deterrent.
Bubble, but they couldn't do the damage. They couldn't rush it down in time, and Canyon still hits the Rel combo, still steals it away. At least they'll be able to get a Hextech Drake very likely from this well. I say that Hextech Portals, also going to say that GenG, they can get here to contest. It's back-to-back Hextech Drake. And that does just mean the rotational capabilities of your champions just a little bit higher. They just don't even get the Constellation Drake here, Atlas. They don't even get that. As look at how many tools are used to try to zone Canyon out. I mean, this Tidal Wave and the bubble is especially just amazing. And then...
Dude, I can't handle this.
Look at how many tools are used to try to zone.
Why are we waving now? There's 5,000 HP left.
I mean, this Tidal Wave
And the
I mean, the tidal wave and the bubble are so good, but they're just too early.
just amazing. And then
And there we go. Q smite. Classic. Also, did Sejuani not have smite?
It's going to make it very easy to play that way.
I have to go back because sometimes you get trolled by... No, Sejuani had smite. You get trolled by replay UI being wrong.
Peanut is just taking full damage here from we can see.
Before he teleported, so neutral is keen.
Union get in here, and he is going to be pushed away. Bubble is fantastic, but he's...
All right, what can you do?
But he's still...
All right, what can you do? Just rel things.
Away the Baron. Doran trying to get some work done now, but you can see it's not going to happen as now Keen finally makes it to the fight. Oh, it was so incredibly close. You knew the idea, you knew the theory, but in the end, Rel is just Rel. Oh god, now they've set themselves up a Sunday.
Did Nami think they would turn instead of finish? No, the call was to finish. I think Delight just saw. So here's the issue. Okay, Delight sees.
5 versus 4 at least for the next
Delight sees them all in this choke point. I mean, it looks like a great zombie wave, right? They're all clumped up. You can get the wave. He walks up. You can get the. He puts the bubble down. It's really well played. And the thing is, if they get closer, Wave doesn't push them back, so the Rel is still in smite range. But the thing about Rel is it's not a 50-50 with Rel. It would actually be better if Rel was in smite range, but CC'd, so Rel can't Q. Right? So then it's a true 50-50. If you let Rel walk in, it's just not a 50-50 if she's not CC'd. Right? The other thing is that Azir could just come in and use ult here to push Rel out. Right? This is actually Zeka just not being aggressive about the way he's playing this, because you have to prevent the Rel from getting into the pit. So this is a good delay, right? The call is to finish. 4,000 HP. You hit the bubble onto the Rel, and you're like, okay, maybe we can finish, maybe we can finish. But as soon as this comes in, you have to have Zeka. You have to have Zeka ult the Rel out. Right? His shifting sands should be up. So really, if anybody trolls that, it's kind of Zeka, frankly.
But you can see it's not going to happen as now Keen finally makes it to the fight. Oh, it was so incredibly close.
That's my take.
Idea, you knew the theory, but in the end, Rel is just Rel. Oh god, now they've set themselves up a Sundisk. But GenG, they're just going to try and find what they can. Look at the long-range artillery of Pace, and also
Pace controls that, though.
Pace. He goes a little bit too far forward.
He flashed for
that.
that.
He was able to go in there and get that kill, but it will cost him his life. But they get the Baron, which is the bigger story here. And they did it without Keen. As you mentioned, he teleported, he showed bottom. It was a good call from Hanwha Life by all rights, and Delight played it right. He drops out the tidal wave, he hits the bubble, but they couldn't do the damage. They couldn't rush it down in time, and Canyon still hits the Rel combo, still steals it away. At least they'll be able to get a Hextech Drake very likely from this well. I say that Hextech Portals, also going to say that GenG, they can get here to contest.
It's back-to-back Hextech Rift. And that does just mean the rotational came out. I mean, this tidal wave and the bubble is
so good. But the timing was, I mean, the thing is that timing doesn't necessarily exist, because if he waits until it gets lower, they're further into the pit, Canyon's in range. But like I said, the best sequence of play here is for Zeka to shifting sands. He has flash. Don't ignore this. This is not real. He has flash in this situation. He also has ult up. All of these timers are fucking busted because Riot sucks balls and can't fix this for a year now, years. It's horrible. That's why we have to go back and actually watch the original play instead of the replays. So Zeka could have flashed in, could have shifting sands in. His sand soldiers are here, push them out, right?
And then 300, and he walked over with a smite. So that was an honest 50-50. It wasn't any of this
Thank you.
But still,
wow, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Thank you. Just go for the 5v4.
My wife brought me food for lunch. That's so nice of you, Susan.
Which is very cool.
She says she only knows how to make toddler lunches, which is true. So I will show you the delightful toddler lunch that I'm about to consume. Thank you.
And that's not the direction
I will.
Gone. Probably would have died either way, but still, he got the shutdown. He's closer to his LDR, and
I like the vibes though.
Yeah,
like, it's a lot of aggression. And I like that from the young player, who is now going to move towards this bottom side of the leads. GenG did win out. Now with the Baron, this siege, especially in this...
I'm doing my stream at a restaurant.
It's just kind of absurd.
It's the 7 turrets that they have that is so much...
Monty, you are the best feeder. Yeah, I know. That's what my son told me. I'm sure you're referencing that.
Yeah, ulti is going to connect onto Canyon. That gets the ult.
My son, I do like 95% of the cooking in my house. And my son didn't know the word for chef or like cook, so he just said, "Dad, you're the best feeder."
Far more respectable as it does tick down.
So Zeka
It cut me real deep, guys. It cut me real deep.
Opportunity to have the Azir game, right? He's got Crypt Bloom now completed. He had Leandri super early. He is so large, right? Chovy is caught up significantly in gold, actually also on 3 items right now, has his Crypt Bloom and his Horizon focus. But Zeka has not been able to have an impact in team fights just simply because the team fights haven't been straight up 5v5s. They've been an attempted Baron Hail Mary. They've been some posturing, right? Or a fight in a 4v1, right?
I know, I got roasted by a toddler.
He hasn't been able to do in 5v5s what this, now 3-item Azir is capable of doing. And if GenG just continue to scale up with this Pays now as 3 items LDR, then I feel like his opportunities are kind of dwindling in terms of popping off as Azir, right? Because there's just so much to cut through. He has to deal with Jax, he has to deal with the Sejuani, and I don't know if the fact that he got 4 kills in this game will actually be relevant when the Nexus falls. If they don't make something happen on this next Dragon fight, I mean, I think that, or Baron potentially, if they can get the prio to actually start it up a second time here. And I mean, we've been saying
Hilly's
this for a while,
son's
but
first
it's continued
words.
to be true. Chovy did so much more,
That's funny.
obviously, when he has the ability to just free fire from long range than what Azir can do when he's being chased away because he just tried to hold Baron aggro and try to secure it.
Like you say, like GenG been holding them at arm's length, trying to go for these position wars rather than too much else. And in that, Chovy just outranges, right?
Yeah,
just
exactly.
keeps fishing for these abilities over and over again as soon as they're up and available. And he has too many of them, to be quite frank with you, because he's Hui, who just has a billion buttons that he can press. I know, it's still about as many abilities, but the fact that he has so much flexibility in which ones
he has utility that Azir also has some utility too, right? But
often it's being used to stop.
What's my all-time all-feeder team?
Yeah, or just like
I don't know. I have to think about that
I
one.
want to do that in this case either, unless Pays makes a mistake, right? Or if you can catch Chovy unawares, but Chovy is just
versus Keen is a tough one. Still, he actually.
I mean, this game was very winnable for Hanwha until the fucking Baron. Now we're just gonna kill Azir on the side lane, so Zeka's Azir does nothing.
In a whole host of trouble. We'll get sped up momentarily, but Pays still just going to be able to boost forward with his Ghost and collects himself the Sejuani. I mean, now this is with Zeka dead, you can't defend, and these are going to be inhibitors that are going to fall down.
Viper flashless now.
Yes, I've seen the KT Nongshim game. You're talking about the Rammus game.
You'll absolutely take the 80 carry that's super low range, doesn't have flash anymore, and yeah, you're not going to have flash to contest Baron or look for a steal, but you don't need the steal. You're the one who's got Baron control, and that is. He was just trying to side chasing him down, and then turned it into
All right, so second Baron into Soul Point.
I think going for a fight and actually trying to make this one a little bit more honest without the dragon distracting them would be a good idea still. They're going to look for it as now Canyon moves in.
I love Rel.
Really fast. There's a decent ulti from Peanut as they do also get the tidal wave.
Okay, gets it again because he's fucking Rel.
Canyon has found himself the Drake, and yeah, Doran's just in the bounce.
All right, that's it. Game's over.
GenG.
Game is over. Now we're going to do Fnatic versus Mad Lions Koi, which I hear is a real banger, guys.